Do you think CCAC is a diverse college compared to others?
Well, I could give you some stats. When you look at a recent study, the Community College of Allegheny County in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, we are number 4. And the other 3 are in Philadelphia. Now, that's when we compare ourselves above what our region's number is. So that's a plus. Our most diverse campus is the Allegheny campus. It has 27% African American students, which is quite impressive when you think about the number in the region. I think our region is 13% of diversity across the 9-county region. One of the important things about the community college is that we attract a very diverse group of students, all ages, ethnicities, religions, etc. So it brings a wealth of diversity into our doors, which helps the community college to evolve. And then being in a large urban environment suggests that you will get a larger concentration of urban students. Whereas if you were in a big metropolitan area, the chances of you getting the diversity that we are experiencing will probably be much less. But we pride ourselves in the work that we're doing in diversity. One of our largest public school systems is one of our largest feeders into the college, which contributes to a lot of the diversity that we're getting.
Do you see our numbers continually rising each year, or is it kind of like a steady
In diversity? Well, I can say based on this academic year, African American student enrollment is up across all 4 campuses. The other group that is up is Hispanic, Latino students across all 4 campuses. And then you have a group that has 2 or more ethnicities is also up across. So those numbers suggest there is a steady growth. And part of that is the outreach, going into target populations that are ethnically diverse and communicating the value of the community college, the cost of the community college, the high quality programs that we offer, the diversity of our programs, the easeability on some of the campuses to access via public transportation. And of course, your president, who's very visible and active, and believe it or not, many do value when they're able to communicate with certain people. It's like an added attraction and motivation. Says, oh, I want to go where she is or he is. It does help.
Speaking of your presence, what's it like seeing yourself on TV sometimes, or commercials? I'm always curious about that when I see. I'm like,
yeah, it's a different. Once you see it, it's over. It's fine. I can generally know it because I hear the sound
of your voice,
of my voice, and I don't have to question it. What's very interesting is when I would go to the movies, and I go early because I like to sit on the end. So in order to get in, you have to be early. So by being early, you see the pre-movie things. And they've stopped it. And CCP, you see people go.
Is that you? Is that you up there?
You know, and you just smile. And so it's doesn't change anything. You know, you can't hide. They know who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, so it's okay. We could get you on if you like.
Could you imagine Tyler on a commercial? I can imagine. I think it'd be good.
Yeah.
I'd say a tagline: "Our goal is your success."
That's a good one.
Decent.
And then, is there anyone from your childhood that made an impact on you?
Absolutely. My mother, my grandparents were very instrumental in my personal growth, my motivation, my guidance, keeping me engaged in the Boy Scouts, the Cub Scouts, the 4-H, the church choir, the church band. IBU, all those things that we should be engaged in, to have that positive reinforcement. And when you go through, you're well prepared. As I went through college, or even in high school, grade school, teachers that I would meet would see my potential, would encourage me and motivate me and suggest you should consider this. In fact, my first grade teacher, Miss Edith Stone's husband, was one of the first African American medical doctors. And that was what motivated me to want to be a medical doctor. And that was many years ago. I said first grade.
Wow.
And I remember it very clearly when him coming into the room and talking to the students, and he drove up in this long black car that you could see. And I said, what kind of car is that? And he said, it's a Cadillac. And I said, a Cadillac? And you doctor? I said, yes. So I thought, okay, I had to be a doctor to get one of those cars. But I've never bought a Cadillac. But I just remember that. But it was so encouraging because it said, not really understanding what that would involve, but I had an affinity for science. So I love science, I love math. So it comes to me very easy. But that was due to teachers who knew how to engage and motivate you and remove that fear of science. And I teach a class once a year, and I help students that are fearful of science to say, you don't have to be fearful of science. In fact, I start the class out by asking, do you know any strangers? I said, oh, I don't know any strangers. I said, oh, okay, so tell me about your integumentary system. I look at you. I said, you do know, right? No, I said, then you know a stranger. You know yourself. And that's the value of wanting to learn science, so you understand how does your body function.
Right.
You should know everything about your body, and that should be your motivation to want to learn science. So when you go to a doctor and they talk about your blood pressure, or they talk about aches and pain, you can kind of get a general
You can understand what they say.
Right.
I need
My
to
mom's
take
a
this
nurse.
class.
My mom's a nurse. She fills me in on all that. She's like, this is what that means. I'm like, all right, thanks. I probably should have taken one of those classes. But some students that think because of what they look like and their ethnicity that they can't do certain things, what would you have to say to those students?
Oh, I would say, please, you have all the potential to do whatever you want to do, regardless of the color of your skin. And all it requires is you to make a commitment, dedication, do the hard work, and follow your dreams. You have to be that self-motivator to prepare yourself for the opportunities that are ahead of you, but you should never let anyone tell you what you're not capable of doing, regardless of who you are.
Right. I agree.
Something that us students, I think, tend to get asked a lot in some classes is what historical figures kind of we look up to. And so to you, what historical figures inspired you or do you relate to?
There are several. I'll take the most recent, first family, President Barack and Michelle Obama, having to be able to live to see the first African American be the President of the United States and the First Lady of the United States, and to see how eloquently and paused and well respected that they were received, and how they lived that life as leaders in the White House was one. You take Rosa Parks, who stood up, who helped you get that backbone to stand up for what's right. Madame Walker, who's the first African American self-made millionaire. You take Frederick Douglass, who was an abolitionist who really pushed along the value of scholarship. You take Senator Barbara Jordan, Texan, one of the first well-spoken senators of the United States, who I can hear her speak now, but you just be mesmerized in hearing Barbara Jordan speak. The late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., his civil rights movement to provide opportunity. And it's a statement that says, if you don't know the past, how do you know where you're going? So it's important to get that basic foundation of the past to help reaffirm the direction that you're going and the actions that you are implementing and the purpose of what you are being. And I don't think we do that enough. Some generations seemingly have forgotten the past and have not embraced and celebrated the work that our forefathers have done to make it possibility for so many populations to be able to advance and to grow and to have opportunities that perhaps may not have been done. So those are just a few that come to mind.
I want to point out too that about Madam C.J. Walker, not only was she first African American, but she was the first female in general to be a millionaire.
To be a
And
man.
I think at that time, not only to be a minority, but to be a female, which was considered a
Right.
minority at that time, to be a
Yeah.
millionaire
Right.
is amazing.
Yes, it is.
She's someone I look up to too, just for that fact alone that
Yeah.
nothing stopped you.
That's right.
Seeing that like all these people inspire you, does Black History Month like mean anything special to you?
Well, Black History Month is year-round for me. It's not a 28, 29 day
Right.
month of celebration. I celebrate Black history 12 months a year because there are certain things throughout the year that should be acknowledged and contributed back to the Black history. And I think the more that we could celebrate history and the impact that history that was established by African American leaders will further advance our outlook in life, our perspective, our willingness to do more to make a positive difference in the world that we live in.
Yeah, it's important to know.
I agree. I've always said that
Yeah.
don't tell me about it for saying 28 months, tell me about it all year round. When
Yeah.
when we're learning about something,
Right.
showcase some people.
Right.
Because some people only care about history for that little short period of time, but
Right.
people like you, they care about
Right.
it all the
yeah,
time,
it's
which
all
I
year round.
think
It
that's
should
how
be-
it should be. Like
Right.
you said, you should know the past to know
Right.
things about the future.
Correct.
So, in your free time, how do you practice self-care and relaxing for work-life balance?
Oh, in my free time, I love the outside. I ride my bike. I love the queue. You know what the queue is?
No, what
You
is
know what
that?
the queue is? It's barbecue.
Oh, okay. You had us all for a minute.
Where's this place at?
I know,
Yeah.
it sounds like fun.
I love the smoke, so I smoke different meats. And look me up in the Pittsburgh magazine. They have me listed as the brisket boss.
Brisket.
Oh,
Cool. Can we get some brisket?
Brisket boss. Yeah,
We're gonna have
so,
to do something where he brings some brisket.
yeah.
Read, leisure reading, travel when I can, fish, walk, hike, things that get my mind off of work.
Yeah.
And anything outside, I enjoy.
Okay. What are some pieces of advice that you would give to students while they're going to school?
I would tell students to take advantage of every opportunity. Really maximize your experiences with your teaching faculty to really help them elevate your learning and mastery of the discipline. Volunteer, do community service, do internships, job shadowing, identify a mentor or mentors that you feel comfortable with and sharing your thoughts, views, and ask for their assistance in helping you navigate the system and to advance and to go from point A to point B to point C. And to really enjoy the entire college experience because today it's today and tomorrow is gone.
Yeah.
Before you know it, you'll be marching, shaking my hand, and off into the world you'll be to work.
So what do you enjoy then most about college and about CCAC?
I like the challenge. I like the ability to work with faculty, staff, and administrators in carving out new initiatives, programs, the ability to network with business and industry, working with governance, board, making tough decisions, guiding change, and being the leader for an institution that's been recognized for its high quality programs, its diverse programs, and the ability to be recognized as a leader in workforce development training. So I like all the above.
So in your free time, you do like to spend your time in like the community, supporting the school, and support really whatever you can, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I serve on several community boards. The Pittsburgh Public Theater, Vibrant Pittsburgh, Partners for Work, United Way, to support with community initiatives, active in my church. So, there are a lot of community initiatives that
Yeah.
keeps you connected, keeps your ear open to hearing.
What's going on around you?
Sometimes you hear it more often than you want to hear it, but it does provide you that access.
Definitely sound like you do a lot.
I do. If I stopped and thought about the volume of things that I do, it could be overwhelming. Every morning I get up between 4 and 4:30. I drink 3 cups of coffee, watch the news, go through emails, prepare, and leave. I'm at work before 7. That's Monday through Friday. And Saturday, I get up at the same time. I just don't have to come into work, but I have something else that I have to do. Like tomorrow, I have a panel discussion with Senator Doyle at the Energy Innovation Center on energy and technology. On Sunday, I will be on the panel with big brothers and sisters to talk about careers in college to a group of young people. Then I'm back to work on Monday.
Work 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
But as long as you enjoy it, which it sounds like you do, so.
You have to pace yourself, and then when you get a break, you take a break.
Right.
Yeah. So you talked about barbecuing a little bit, and I hear that you would barbecue at some open houses. And so we're just curious, where's your next stop at CCAC with open house and barbecue?
Well, just for clarification, as a way to contribute to the Educational Foundation, I would donate a barbecue, and the individuals would bid on the barbecue. The last one that I did was at our 50th anniversary, and it was for barbecue for 50, and it generated $8,400.
Wow.
So that was the last big one. That was last summer. We didn't do a gala this year, so I didn't donate one. So the next one would be just my personal one that I'll do sometime this summer.
Nice.
Good. Figure out an event for that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take some barbecue.
So I think that's all the questions we have.
That's all we have for now.
Very good. Well, thank you for the opportunity. And as I will say to you and other students, follow your dream. Do as much as you can while you're at CCAC, and keep us in touch on your continued growth and development.
Definitely.
Awesome.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.